Welcome back to the Beach Bum Bookworm. I am Tiffany. I'm so glad you all found me again today. My channel is all about cozy mysteries and romance books, and I am starting a new vlog today. So this is my second ever vlog. I'm feeling so much better. Oh my gosh, it's so nice to be feeling better. I have a voice, so look out, world. Oh my goodness. I was gonna start this in a more aesthetically pleasing place than just my couch. I don't have anything behind it yet. Although we're going on a little over a year in this house, we had commissioned a painting from somebody I know to paint a really cool picture for behind the couch because it needs to be pretty large. And with the pandemic, it just hasn't worked out. But anyways, so I was going to do it behind my kitchen wall where I normally film, but the sun just wasn't allowing that. There was a lot of shadows and different stuff like that. It just didn't work. So let me tell you about reading. So an update for tonight, we are not doing a sprint. I am joining a hour-long live on, her name is Jen. She does the book Refuge. She is an all romance channel because they do an hour-long read-along, but it's just 15 minutes of talking and then 45 minutes of reading, and then we wrap up. So I wanted to go ahead and do that, but I just didn't want to do a long reading sprint where even though I feel better, I feel basically back to my old self and my voice is good. I just don't want to chance it because I do still have somewhat of a cough. So I'm just trying to be cautious, and I figured I could still do that. It's 15 minutes of talking. Yeah. And it won't be me talking the whole time, although you know I like to go. All right, so now that I got that out of the way, my reading for this week. I have finished the Diva Stills a Chocolate Kiss. I'll put it right here. So in this one, Sophie is hired to put on a 60th anniversary bash for this company called Amore, which is a chocolate company, and chaos ensues. And I say chaos ensues because so much happens. People go missing, people die. There's a lot in that book, which is also, so I did enjoy it, but also why I gave it a 3. And I normally give these books a little higher, but I just felt like there was so much going on that it was hard to keep track of the pieces sometimes. So there is that. This covered for like readathons and different stuff like that. This covered my chocolate square and the Willy Wonka Wonkathon that I am co-hosting with Lee from Dark Roots Creations and Stormy from Stormy Reads. Storm Reads. Got it. Nailed it. If you have not checked out their channels, you really need to. They are amazing and they read a wide variety of books, both of them, wide variety of genres of books. So I finished that up, and then I'm also in about chapter 9 of Louisiana Beauty Bayou, something. It's number 2 in the Misfortune series. I'm going to put it right here because I cannot remember the title. I am loving it just the same as I did the first one. So in this one, our main character, Fortune, has to, so she's undercover, not really undercover. She's been placed undercover because people are trying to kill her, basically. And she is acting as somebody's niece. And the niece was a beauty pageant winner and all these things. And Fortune is the exact opposite of that. She's like this bad mamma jamma undercover agent, right? So she describes herself as, I'm not girly. She's never done some of the makeup stuff or hair stuff. And so in this one, the town is putting on a child beauty pageant and they want her to help with that. Now, the lady that kind of coaxes her into that did it on purpose, knowing that she probably wouldn't do very well with the beauty pageant and like helping with it. So it was kind of like a setup to fail. And Fortune threatens her. Lo and behold, this woman ends up dead. And so now Fortune's like, I was just mad. I didn't mean anything by it. And they're trying to figure out what is going on. I love it, love it, love it, love it. Oh my gosh, it's so much fun. So that is my e-read right now. The audiobook that I started since I finished the Diva book is the 5th book in the Ellie Alexander Bake Shop. It is Fudge and Jury. Look at me remembering the title. It's right here. It covers my purple for the Wonkathon. And I just started it, so I can't really give you much of a synopsis. I try not to read a synopsis before I go in. I mean, I know the gist of the story, so I don't, the story as that it's a bake shop and all that, the theme, but I don't know what's specifically going on in this book yet, because I think I've maybe a chapter and a half in, so there you go. But I will fill you in when I check in with you later. All right, guys, I hope everybody has a great day, and I will see you on the flip side. Good morning, everyone. It is Saturday morning. It's about 8 a.m. I just got out of the shower, so as you can see, my hair is drenched. I'm going to head to my grandmother's before we meet for our Saturday live at noon. Kairu is very excited, and I wanted to show you him today. Kairu, hold on. Kairu, look at mommy. Kairu, look at mommy. Look at mommy. Kairu's got on. Step back for a second. Kairu, buddy. What are you doing, baby? Huh? Can I show them your tie? Can I show them your tie? Can I show them your ties? Go back just a little. Go back just a little. There it is. There it is. He's got on his St. Louis Blues tie today. Regular season starts in just about a week, but preseason's going, and we want to support our Blues, don't we, buddy? Yes, we do. You ready to go, Grandmas? You ready to go, Grandmas? Come on. All right, guys, we will see you in a little bit. All right, guys, so I am here at Grandma's every Saturday. I come over and have coffee with my grandmother. I'm sorry for the spin. Kairu's going all around me. I wanted to show you her pygmy pond. This is a pygmy pond. That is what I was talking about when I said I want one for, I have a little area in my front yard where it would be perfect. So I'd love to get one of those. Normally Kevin comes with me to Grandma's for coffee, and sometimes she fixes him sweets. Well, when I say sometimes, most of the time she fixes him sweets. But we are having a problem with our irrigation in our flower beds, and so we are having somebody come and look at that today. So I'm not going to spin around anymore because Kairu was dying to get inside. Because the other thing that Kairu gets at Grandma's is lots and lots of treats. So we will see you guys later. Hey everybody. Okay, so I just wanted to do a quick check-in. It is Sunday morning. It is about 8:30, and as far as reading, I finished during the sprints The Crime of Passion Fruit, and I read maybe about 2 more chapters and 1 feta in the grave, and then Kevin and I spent the night watching TV. So we oftentimes don't get some of that time together because I'm always reading. So we wanted to take that time, and we did, and it was lovely. So as far as cooking, I have a lot of cooking to do today because I didn't get a lot of it done yesterday because our groceries couldn't be picked up until Sunday, which is actually where Kevin is right now. So I haven't started a lot of it. So you're going to see a lot of cooking today. But I wanted to talk to you about, I'm going to be doing some baking. I want to talk to you about AIP baking. It's tough. But here are some things that I have. Now, okay, let me pull this out. Anthony's Organic Tigernut Flour. This stuff is really expensive. I really like this Anthony's brand. I've bought several things from them in this brand. And Tigernut flour, I've had some that works really well, and I've had some that doesn't, and I think some of it is the way it's made. So this one says extra fine, and that's proven to be maybe a little bit of a problem. Things don't hold up as well, and I'm thinking that is why. I like Tigernut flour. It's got a somewhat of a nutty flavor. I just don't always like how things turn out. The flour that I do prefer, so that's this one, the flour that I do prefer is cassava flour. So I don't know what cassavas are, but I can have them. Or at least just cassava flour. So This one again is really extra fine, and I feel like this flour, this type of flour, cassava flour, works so much better than the Tigernut flour, personally. Now, a lot of recipes call for several different types of flour, so sometimes I play around with that, and sometimes I just ignore it and do all that. So don't necessarily follow me every step of the way. Follow me at your own risk. I do have another brand of this that I prefer better, and I can't remember what it's called, and I'm out of it right now because I tend to use that before I use this one. What's that? Let me see. Tapioca starch. Tapioca starch. This is your thickener, so it'd work as cornstarch, but I can't use cornstarch. So I almost use it the same way I would cornstarch. I use it in everything I'd use cornstarch for, but also, you know, you put it in like a little cup, you mix it with water first. You don't just dump the powder in, but works the same as cornstarch or any other thickener that you might use. Granulated tapioca. I don't know what I needed this for. I haven't opened it, but I ordered it very recently, so it'll be something you and I try together because I have no idea. It was in several recipes, and I'm like, okay. And I had to put an Amazon order in, so here we go. Granulated tapioca. Cacao powder. It is a chocolate substitute. I'm going to be making some brownie bites with this today, or fudge cocoa balls. I can't remember exactly what they're called, but it will have these in it along with several other things. And then this isn't necessarily for baking, but I just wanted to show you. I use this a lot. This will go in the cheese that I'm making today. The butternut squash cheese I'm making today. It's Anthony's, again, that same brand, and it's nutritional yeast flakes. So this is a cheese substitute type of thing. I have used it in Alfredo sauce and a couple other things, and it's actually very good. So, eggs. Normally, you can't have eggs on AIP, and again, you can always add things back in. I have done this diet in the past. I think I mentioned that, and I was strict on it, and I added eggs back in, and I'm good to go. Actually, pretty much no dairy bothers me. Knock on wood. So, I've added eggs back in. But before that, I had to use gelatin eggs. So you took gelatin, you mixed it with water, and you like fluffed it and let it foam. And that's what you used as an egg substitute when baking. So I am thrilled to say I don't have to do that anymore. I can't think along the way when I show you my baking later, because I'm going to be making, like I said, those fudge ball cookie bites or something along that line. Can't remember what they're called. I'm also going to be making cranberry orange muffins. Thank you, Nancy, from the Discord group. She sent me a lovely recipe. I mean, I'm going to be using all sorts of substitutes, and I'll show you some of those along the way because I don't remember all my plan. I have it mapped out. As far as reading, since I can't read while I'm cooking, like actually read with my eyes, I'm going to be starting the next book in the Lighthouse Library series. I think it's a Death Long Overdue or something like that. I will tell you in the next video which actual one it is. I cannot remember which one I'm on. So that's my day today. At 1 p.m., I'm going to be doing the most exciting part of my day, which is I'm interviewing Ellie Alexander. So thrilled about that. So exciting. By the time you see this, the interview will have passed, but you'll know I'm excited about it. Can't wait. So I will check in with you a little bit later. All right, so I just wanted to check in with you guys and talk with you guys for just a few minutes. I'm getting ready to start my soy sauce alternative, so I'll show you that. But I was thinking of talking to you a few minutes just about alternatives for like what you can do with things. So like the tomato sauce that I made, I'm thinking that if I thin it down and maybe add a little bit more sweetener like honey or maple syrup, it might be close to ketchup. It could pass. Haven't tried it, but I'm thinking that it'll work. If I take that, thin it down a little bit, and add oregano and basil, maybe a few other spices, I might have pizza sauce. I'm also thinking that if I mix it with some other things and add like beef or chicken broth and then all my veggies, maybe vegetable soup. I know, I'm kind of excited about messing around. I feel like my kitchen has become a science lab. Let's get started on the soy sauce. If you hear something in the background, I'm running the dishwasher because this diet requires just constant of running the dishwasher because, again, when you make everything from scratch, it takes a lot of dishes. I try to wash as I go, and I do a lot, but then some of the stuff I just want to make sure that, like the jars and different things like that, run through the dishwasher, and I'm just constantly using a lot more dishes to make things. So sorry that you're hearing that, but I wanted to get it done early in the morning because I have a ton of stuff to make today. So let's get started on the soy sauce. I will see you back in just a few minutes. All right, welcome back to my kitchen. So I am starting the soy sauce. In here, the only thing I have is 2 cups of beef broth, and then it says the recipe calls for a pinch of ginger. I don't like ginger, so that's my pinch. So I want to also say that, and I know I mentioned this in the last video, but this is really important for AIP. Even if you know you can have something, you need to check the ingredients. Like you can have balsamic vinegar, but check the ingredients because this one is just the vinegar, but sometimes they add something. And if they add it, you cannot have it. These are just dehydrated onion. Sometimes they will add again, I don't know if it's a preservative or some sort of nitrate or something. Don't buy those. So even though you can have certain things, automatically, always, always, always check those labels. So, all right. So I did my ginger. This says a certain amount of garlic powder and onion powder, but this is gonna be a soy sauce substitute, and I put it in everything, and we like garlic and onion, so I'm gonna put more than probably, I don't even look what's on there. I just kind of eyeball it and dump it in. Ooh, that side I don't wanna use though. All right, so this is the onion powder. Ooh, well, there we go. That's what happens in this kitchen. All right, so this calls for 1 teaspoon of balsamic vinegar and 1 teaspoon of red wine vinegar. Red wine vinegar was out at the store, so I'm just gonna use 2 teaspoons of the balsamic. I go through so much of this, I'm constantly buying it. Vinegar in general, all flavors, apple cider, regular, it's a staple. The regular and apple cider we actually buy in like huge jugs. And I am constantly refilling it. So I just use a funnel and refill a little jar to keep in the fridge and keep the other in the pantry because it doesn't have to be refrigerated. So, all right, so this is 1 tablespoon of red wine vinegar, 1 tablespoon of balsamic. I think I said that this is the balsamic vinegar. I'm gonna use 2 because I don't have red wine, and this will be fine. I've done it a couple times. And I've done it a couple times where I've used red wine and vinegar instead of balsamic, just depending on what I have. It'll all work in the end. 2 teaspoons molasses. This is grandma's molasses. The only ingredient is molasses. I am not a molasses fan whatsoever. And so I tend to sometimes go a little light on the molasses because I'm just not just not a fan. And it's messy, and I don't like mess in the kitchen. I know that's kind of a, silly, but ugh, I don't like sticky. molasses is definitely sticky. I'm letting that drop because I know I don't have a full tablespoon or teaspoon there because it's hard to fill. And again, I don't care if the measurements are exactly right. I've never had it turn out where it doesn't work as soy sauce, so. All right, I'm just gonna stick that on and start stirring. The only other thing I need is salt and then fish sauce, which you add at the end. So you're gonna cook this first. So let me add my salt before I forget. Stay. That's not gonna work. Trying to get the rest of the molasses off this spoon. All right. Do I sound like Julia Child? I feel like Julia Child. All right, we use pink Himalayan salt. We don't have to. That's just what we use here in this. Here. All right, and then I'm gonna finish stirring this up because there's still some seasoning. I can still see some of the garlic and onion powder, and I don't like the chunks, so I'm just gonna finish stirring that up, and then it'll go on the stove medium heat for, I think it says 8 to 10 minutes. I usually do it the full 10. And then I take it off the heat and you add the fish sauce and then you let it completely cool and you jar it. And that is soy sauce alternative. There is a soy sauce alternative that everybody can buy if you're on AIP that's really convenient. It's called coconut aminos. Again, as you all know, I'm allergic to coconut, so it's not an option for me, but it tends to be what most people use, and it's probably a lot easier than this, although this is super easy. Like I said, I'm just gonna cook it for 8 minutes, and then I jar it and I have it. So not that big of a deal for me. All right. All right, so I have that going, and as far as reading, like I said, I'm going to continue listening to the Lighthouse Library. I still don't know which one I'm reading. Oh my gosh, I think it's long past overdue, something like that. I keep forgetting to look, I'm so sorry. Haven't gotten very far so far. Birdie is having a reunion of people she went to college with for her undergrad, and there's a nasty woman that shows up. So I'm thinking that she's... Other than that, I'm going to clean up this mess, wipe everything down so that I can start the next thing. I'm hoping Kevin gets back he's still at the store. I'm hoping he gets back soon so that I can start the butternut squash. We will see. I'd like to get that done this morning, but it's okay if it doesn't. And I will say the butternut squash, I'll show you later, but I am taking a big shortcut because I bought already cubed frozen butternut squash. I don't mind doing it from scratch, but to cube it is different. Like I love just cutting open squash and baking it with different seasonings and cinnamon, stuff like that. But to have to cube it is a whole nother story that I didn't want to mess with today. So luckily enough, my grocery store has already cubed frozen butternut squash. So I just have to steam it and there you go. It's all ready. So amazing hack. And I will check back in with you guys in a little bit. Hey everybody, just wanted to update you. So we are now sitting out in the garage. The soy sauce is on the stove cooling. It is finished cooking. I'm just cooling it before I put it in jars. And Kairu was dying to get outside, crying, and oh, he just pulls at your heartstrings. So here we are, because that's what you do when your dog wants to go chill outside. Like I said, I'm waiting on the groceries anyways, but I did want to tell you, I finally looked. I am reading A Death Long Overdue. It is the 7th book in the Lighthouse Library series. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to chill and listen to that and hang out with the dog. I'll check in with you a little bit later. Bye, everybody. Hey, just wanted to check in with y'all. I am getting ready to make the cheddar cheese sauce. So If you hear that in the background, I am microwaving butternut squash. I told you that I found butternut squash frozen, already cubed, which will make my life so much easier. So that is what I'm doing. The only ingredient is butternut squash, so nothing is added to it. I can have it. I'm gonna cook both of these packages. I don't need the whole thing. I need right about a pound, and these are 10 ounces each. So I'm gonna take what's left to work as a side. So you also use sweet potatoes in this, so I have frozen sweet potatoes the same way, already cubed up, so I'm going to be making those as well. Also, what's left over will be a side, but wanted to catch you up on the reading. So I'm about 27-8% into Lighthouse Library. I'm loving it, but I am gonna stop. There's nothing wrong with the book. I'm stopping because I didn't think about this very well. I didn't plan ahead very well, and I want to start the next Sarah Fox book, the third book in her pancake series, which is Of Spice and Men. I'll put it right here. So I'm gonna start listening to that, and then I'll come back and listen to the Lighthouse Library series because I'm interviewing Sarah Fox on Sunday, the 17th. So I'm super excited about that. As that's cooking in the background, the big pot there has eggs in it. I am making more hard-boiled eggs than usual because I've already boiled them. They're just cooling because my husband's going to take them in his lunch this week, and then I also use them in my lunch. So we have those done. Let me show you the soy sauce substitute that I finished making. What it looks like all made up. So I go through this pretty quickly because, again, a lot of recipes call for that. I am going to be doing hopefully still some baking, but I'm not going to be able to make either of the things I talked about because I was going to make cranberry orange muffins. Again, that recipe was from Nancy in the Discord. Thank you very much, Nancy. And I was super excited about it. I was going to try to modify it to AIP and see if it would work. And then I was also going to make cranberry sauce, which requires orange juice. And I did my pickup order this morning and they didn't give me oranges. It was on the order, but it was unfortunately something that wasn't available, which isn't their fault. It was just frustrating. So I'm not doing that this week. So I'll order it again next week and we'll see how that goes. I have everything else that I need. So I'm going to be trying these fudge balls. I think I mentioned those. I need to find the recipe again and just kind of look through it and go from there. And then I'll show you what I'm making for supper. So I think what I'm making for supper is taking chicken breast, which I'm thawing now, and maybe trying to not bread it, but dip it in egg, and then the flour that I have, maybe the Tigernut or a mixture of Tigernut and cassava with something else that might provide crunch, like I have some plantains made up that I might crunch and try to make like a breading. We'll see. And then I thought I would thin down that tomato sauce and put that on top. So almost like a chicken parmesan or something like that. We'll see how it turns out. You never know until you try. And I will check back in with you in just a little bit because I'm gonna get started on Of Spice and Men. All right, so I just wanted to check in for a minute. The butternut squash cheese is almost ready, so that is what is thickening up over here. It has about 8 minutes, and then I put it in the blender and it's all finished. So this was an interesting process. I'll see how it turns out. It was about a pound of cubed butternut squash, cooked, and a cup of sweet potatoes, and you sauteed onions and garlic, and added the squash, the sweet potato, said coconut milk because it was AIP, so they always use coconut milk. So I used another substitute and thickened it up with, it was like a plantain banana milk, and not sweet. So I know it sounds that way, but it's not. With tapioca starch and water, where it's just like cornstarch, comes out like, looks like cornstarch. You mix it with water, put it in there to thicken it up. And then chicken broth, salt, I can't have pepper, so, and nutritional yeast, which is a cheese substitute anyways. Am I forgetting anything? I don't believe so. You cooked that, and then you added to that tapioca starch. Thicken up. It looks like it is getting pretty thick, so I have high hopes for it. We will see what it actually tastes like in just a little bit, because I am about ready to, in about 6 minutes, blend it up and it's done. So as far as reading, like I said, I was going to switch over. I've started the Of Spice and Men. So in this one, a film crew has come into town and they are filming this scary movie. And the leading actress is the main character's boyfriend's ex. And she gets invited to go to the set, and I'm just at the part where we're finding the body. So it looks like there's a fire, and I think the body is the makeup artist on the set, but I will keep you up to date. So that's where I am with that. I'm gonna finish up the butternut squash, check in when that's done. I'll show you what it looks like blended and finished, and I'm gonna taste it. Of course, the taste is the most important part. And then I'm going to make supper and try to get some more reading done in One Feta in the Grave. So that's what I have going on right now, and I will see you all in a little bit. All right, everyone, so moment of truth. Kevin and I are going to taste the cheese sauce. This is what it looks all finished and blended up. It's still pretty warm, so this might be what goes over like broccoli cheese, or as cheese for broccoli cheese, or I might, dip it in plantains, or make like queso, put some like ground chicken in it or something like that. I don't know. All right, Kev, I'm letting him try it first because I'm thinking ahead.
It's a little runnier than I expected, and I think it'd work for what you're trying to do, but I'm not getting a heavy cheese flavor like we did with the tomato sauce, and it really tasted like tomato sauce. I'm not getting that from this.
Okay, let me try it. I could always thicken it up more, and I could add more cheese flavor. It's not horrible, but I get where you're coming from. I don't know if it needs to be thickened up more, especially if I was gonna use it and add in like ground chicken and mix in with it, like almost like a,
right,
like I said, a dip. And I don't even know for like broccoli and cheese, like if you'd.
That's actually what it kind of tastes like to me, is a form of a cheese soup, more than cheese.
I just double dipped. We're the only 2 people eating it. No fears. Before I get somebody to say that we're the only 2 people eating this. Yeah, I might add a little more nutritional yeast, which is the cheese kind of flavoring. And I mean, I can thicken it up a little, but I don't think it needs to be too much thicker. I kind of like the consistency.
Okay.
I could always thicken
I think with the color, your brain naturally goes to that gooey nacho cheese sauce like you get it at the ballpark or something like that, and that's not what this does. This is a much more fluid cheese sauce.
Yeah,
so
I could thicken it up more if depending on what we're using it for. I think for certain things it might be great, and other, I already thickened it up some. I would just take it out and thicken it up more.
Right, and I've had broccoli cheese soup that tastes worse than that. So
well, thank you, Kevin, if I do say so myself. So it's not a ball hit. What would that be? A home run? That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
It's not a home run. It's definitely edible, and considering I can't have cheese at all, it's going to be a decent substitute. It's going to be a decent substitute. I think that we're thinking in our heads because the tomato sauce was the first thing we did, and it turned out so well. But I like this more than Kevin does. I think it actually will be a nice cheese substitute. All right, so I'm going to let this finish completely cooling down, and then I'm going to jar it up. So in the meantime, I'm going to switch over and start reading some One Feta in the Grave, and I have to cook supper. I mentioned this earlier. This is going to be an interesting attempt but I'm going to try to bread chicken in a couple of the different flours that I have with seasoning. I'm gonna put in seasoning into the flour, garlic powder, onion powder, maybe some other things, maybe like oregano and parsley. And then try to bake those up with or put them in the air fryer with the flour on them, and then take them out and thin out the tomato sauce and put that over it, and then bake it, and it'd be like chicken parmesan. I know it doesn't have cheese on it, but you know, we'll see how it goes. You never know, probably have salad with it, and I'll check back in with you guys later. All right, so I just wanted to check in very quickly. I am air frying the chicken right now just to crisp it up before I put it in the oven with the tomato sauce that I'm gonna thin down. And I just wanted to show you what I made for Kevin's lunch. So the deal is Kevin needs to take his lunch at least a couple days, and then he can eat out, especially because with him doing this diet with me, which I really, really appreciate, and he's so supportive, I know he still wants to eat what he wants to eat, especially since he can, and I understand that. So the other couple days he does take his lunch, and this week we're doing adult Lunchables. So I don't know if you can see his lunch, but he has 2 hard-boiled eggs. They're in little silicone cups so that they stay where they are. They're just little, what you would bake cupcakes in. Cauliflower, there's celery under here. And then he has, in these 2 cups, one is ranch and one is the pickles that I made because he really liked those. A cheese stick, so he's got a little cheese stick in here. And then salami slices. And then he's got a little clementine for dessert. He also has crackers already at work, so he'll eat crackers with all of this. Just a simple, we call it adult Lunchables. So he'll have that probably tomorrow and one more day. And then the other days he will probably eat out. And I told him, just, you know, do what you want, because again, I know that, you know, even though he's being so supportive, he doesn't have to eat, especially for lunch. So that's that. And I will check in with you when I'm closer to supper being done. All right, everyone, just thought I'd give you a brief update. We just ate supper. We had garden salads, and I made kind of chicken parmesan. It actually was decent. It was pretty good. As far as reading, I plan on the rest of the evening trying to focus on One Feta in the Grave. I have all my housework done except for the last of the laundry, which is in the dryer now. And so I really hope to focus on that, because during the week I don't have as much time to read ebooks. I do mostly audio. So that is the plan tonight. I will check in hopefully at the end of the night. Sometimes I forget, trying to remember to do so. I don't think I'm going to do any baking. I am quite pooped out today. And yeah, it would only be for me anyways. And since I didn't get the oranges that I needed for 2 of the things that I really wanted to bake, which were the cranberry orange muffins and the cranberry sauce, I'll wait. It'll be fine. Bye, y'all. Morning, everyone. I forgot to wrap up, of course. So as far as reading, I got a couple more chapters done in One Feta in the Grave. So I'm going to keep plugging away at that. Today at work, I'm going to be listening to the Sarah Fox book of Spice and Men. I love that title. And for lunches, I showed you what I packed for my husband, and his reply was, can it be a little less adult and a little more kid? I thought that was hilarious, which I can totally understand, because he's eating everything I eat when I fix meals, which I think is so supportive and great, and I love him for that. I'm going to try to get him some goodies and snacks next week to kind of mix in with his Lunchable. So that will maybe, you know, let him have some treats from time to time. And other than that, I think that's it. I'm in a new spot today because in the mornings, sometimes I like to sit in this big red chair. It's like one of those sized chairs. Maybe I can show it to you. Oh, well, that didn't work. Hold on. It's like there we go. Maybe. Does that? There. It's like an oversized chair, but I can see the water from here, so I will kind of chill here and open my blinds and just watch the water. It's so calming and peaceful. So that is the end of this weekend vlog. For my lunch, oh, that's right. For my lunch, it's not near as fun as Kevy's if Kevy thinks his is boring. Mine is a clementine, the leftover chicken from last night, which was, it was good. I wouldn't say it was great. But I'll continue to play around with it. I think the idea of it was really good. And I'm taking that, and I'm taking some steamable broccoli. I'm taking the bag frozen, and I'll just heat it up at work. And I'm taking that cheese sauce, and I think I said clementine and maybe a plum for later. So that is my lunch for today, and I hope you enjoyed this vlog. And until next time, may all your future reads be 5 stars. Bye, everyone.